Anisi couldn't hold back and kissed her husband's father. To her surprise, Shakir didn't refuse. Instead, he kissed her back. But after just 20 short minutes, Shakir began to regret it. He told Anisi to forget everything that had happened and leave. Anisi felt a twinge of disappointment, but more than that, she was filled with satisfaction. Ever since she married her husband and had a child, he'd brought her to live on the island where his family resided. On her first day there, Anisi had gone swimming in the sea and accidentally been seen naked by her father-in-law Shakir. At first, she thought Shakir was an improper man and deliberately kept her distance. But as they spent time together over the next few days, she gradually realized Shakir possessed a charm her husband could never match. That night, Anisi had a huge fight with her husband in their room. Enraged by his incompetence, she'd run to the small cottage in the garden to vent her anger, so upset that she'd torn her clothes. Just then, Shakir had come to water his plants and seen her falling apart. He seemed to understand what was wrong and comforted her. Being lifted up in that moment, Anisi had been completely won over and thrown herself into his arms. She'd stayed until she calmed down a little, then returned to her room. After that night, Anisi had developed a special affection for her father-in-law. To get closer to him, she'd wait by her bedroom door every night after her husband fell asleep, watching the hallway. When she saw Shakir come out of his guest room, she'd pretend to be getting a drink of water and head downstairs, seizing the chance to spend time alone with him. Shakir seemed to know what his daughter-in-law was after and always kept a deliberate distance from her. But that night, when Anisi came back upstairs, she ran into her husband, who'd woken up to get water. Thinking about Shakir's coldness toward her, she'd angrily taken off her coat, deciding to take all her frustration out on her husband. Anisi had thought Shakir would never take the initiative to contact her again, until her husband's incompetence and constant yelling finally drove Shakir over the edge. Father and son had a huge fight in the living room, and in the end, Shakir was trembling with anger. He chased everyone out of the room. When Anisi was the last to leave, to her surprise, Shakir stopped her and told her to stay. Perhaps out of revenge against his son, he even told Anisi to lock the door behind her. Anisi seemed to know exactly what Shakir wanted. After locking the door, she leaned in and kissed him. The two stayed in the living room for 20 minutes. Even though Shakir had tried to distance himself from her afterward, Anisi wasn't sad. She knew he was completely under her control now.